Also, I had a close friend when I was a child, like many children. I had a friend who was a dog. I don't think either of us knew she was a dog, but I now realize she was definitely a dog. From the pictures, But while she was alive, she was definitely just a very real person, and she came to live with me and take over most of the bed, I must say, after Baba left the center, just after Baba left the center. And her name was Buff. She was a collie dog. And Baba always, not one time, not two times, he always sent love to Buff in every message we ever got. And then when we got Puff the cat, also to Puff. And the turtle Jimmy, also to him. And really, they have as many messages from Baba as we do. And when Buff, she got ill, she got very ill. And so Elizabeth, whose love for animals is legend, of course, and that's a whole other subject, but she told me about her illness and took me to see her for the last time. And she added on the cable to Baba, after receiving the family letter, she added on a cable in response to that. She was allowed to cable back about that dog Buff was sick. And Baba cabled back to me. And actually, it's very rare in my life that I got direct cable from Baba, because he was in seclusion most of the time I knew him. And only for real important work or emergencies was there communication. But he cabled back, and he said, your love for me will help Buff, who is also mine. And he said, be resigned and happy to my will. Meher Baba. And this is just, I tell you that because I can't imagine how sweet Baba. I mean, only when we look at our lives now, some of you told me today of your things in your lives, we just should meditate every evening on the beautiful, sweet things Baba has done for us that day. Because he's doing it all the time. And this is just an example of that. How touching. When Phyllis was talking earlier today about life after death, I thought of my dear sweet dog, Baba taking all that trouble for her. Anyway, he said, I am your father. And that he lived out. He lived it. He took the job, and he took it seriously. He's been a very good father. And you see, that's important, because it's not that somehow he's some great cosmic force, and you sort of imagine then that he helps you and so forth. It's the other way. He does his job in your life in every small way. And that leads to these big things, avatar and so forth. For me, Because human beings, for us it's the little things. It's the small things. And Baba was so attentive to every detail. Well, we arrived at the theater, and Wendy told you a couple of years ago about that, I'm sure, her meeting of Baba, because that's when she met Baba. She was standing there in a little white and purple dress, and Mother was also in one, and they were twins, same dress, and they were standing there. And I was sitting with Baba so I could see his face as he saw Wendy, and he was so delighted when he saw Wendy. Who wouldn't be? And he knew, of course, how special Wendy is. And he said, Baba, he looked, the dresses, he noticed right away. He was so happy, He was anxious to meet her. So that was the first thing, was when we arrived, was that she met him. And then we went in all together into the theater, and Baba sat in his seat that had been prepared for him. And Wendy and I rushed forward and to sit as near as we could, and the only places we could find were in front of Baba on either side of his feet. And he had his sandals off and his feet were just there. And it was so beautiful to sit next to his feet. That's mostly what I watched for the time, because I had never really seen his feet before, noticed or anything. And there I was, sitting next to them. And since I was kind of small, I was very close to them. Mother objected to this because she she thought we were blocking Baba's view. So she sort of, how mothers try to signal to move, And there's some inner antenna that kids have. They know their mother is doing this, so they ignore it completely. And so she got a little more frantic, like this. And finally, Baba turned to her and said, "It's all right, let him stay." And the film started, and Baba, I was very conscious of not moving so as to disturb Baba. I wanted to stay very, very still so that I wouldn't disturb his view of the film. And I tried very, very hard just to not move at all. And sort of in the middle, I got this terrible urge to cough. You know how that is. You get this tickly feeling, and you just know there's nothing you can do. You're going to cough. And I was getting more and more anxious about it. And I was thinking, what can I do to stop this feeling? And it was coming on strong. And as I was absorbed in that, I suddenly, Baba reached out and he pats me on the back like this, and I look back at Baba and he goes, "Cough," Baba says, "Go ahead." So I coughed up a storm and got it all out. And it wasn't until, of course, it's not until years later that one realizes who this is that you're dealing with here, but at the time it seemed so natural.